my friends were really different when I was younger. They weren't productive. You know those fuck off teenagers who like take the piss all the time. Or on the other hand, I would have friends who were really like socially awkward and not fun to be around. And the thing is, in both of those scenarios, I was a bit of a loser. Until you see my friends now, you can see most of them, like actually all of them go to the gym. They're all like good people. And when you start changing your friends, your whole life changed, bro. I mean, this is a pretty like average photo of me in the gym, but you can tell I'm in really like decent shape. And I've had a massive glow up. Everything in my life has gotten better as I've been around my really good friends. And it took me a really long time to get to that point. The thing is, everyone's always going to have friends, and people don't realize how much it affects you. Like, it's always going to be there, and they're always going to be affecting the trajectory of your life. I remember I had this friend group that I was in from the age of 8 until like 14, and one day they were always taking the piss out of me, and I would leave every single day on the bus like sad because every day we would all take the school bus home at the same time, and the chat would be going off, and they'd just be flaming me, even though half of these guys were friends that I had from childhood. And I won that they did a vote to keep me in the friend group or not. And I won the vote, but the thing is, before I got the vote back, I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to be in a friend group where my own mates don't even want me in it when I'm not wanted, right? And the thing is, as soon as I left that friend group, I ended up meeting loads of new people like really soon after. And I just wanted to say, like at the start of this video, this is probably, I mean, nowadays I kind of just like, I'm with friends and I meet new people and I have like my close friends and I still like go around meeting a lot of new people. But a lot of the time you might have to cut off like all your friends to meet a new one. It's similar to how I stopped talking to this girl, and I'm gonna bring that up a few times maybe later in this video because it's relevant and it's on my mind at the moment. But when you want to meet somebody new who's actually good for you, you can't like keep talking to the same one even if it's like just as a friend because you're gonna keep going back to it. You need to like fully cut them off, like try and finally forget about like them before you can go and find a new girl you really like. When you're comfortable talking to a girl, you're not going to put in the effort to go meet a new girl. And this is the exact same thing with friends. Now, I'm going to start off with dating life, right? Every single time I go out with my boy, I'm not going to say who this is. And by the way, if you're assuming this is my best mate, Krish, yeah, I'm not, who knows, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but K doesn't necessarily stand for Krish. But every time I go out with this one particular guy, I'll go and we'll just have like loads of girls fucking talking to us like wherever we are because we're always in a good mood when we're hanging out and we're always having a fucking great time. And the other thing is, if that isn't happening, when I'm with this certain guy, I also have enough confidence to like go up and speak to girls. Now that doesn't mean like every single time I meet a girl, I'm trying to sleep with her or anything. But what that does mean for an absolute fact is you're gonna be fucking getting so much more opportunity to date, to meet people who you want to meet your future wife when you're going out and being as social as possible. And I'm telling you, it's a really fucking big difference. Because think about it. If you're meeting like 100 girls every night out, you're just saying, hey, what's your name? Then the likelihood of you meeting your like future wife goes up by, if you normally spoke to one girl a night, 100x, bro. That's fucking massive. Now, the thing is, you might be wondering, are you even going to find like a good quality girl on the night out? And honestly, bro, I think it's possible, but it's rare. Because a lot of girls who go to parties, they're just like in the wrong environment, and you're probably not going to like be fully related to them. Obviously, if you have more friends and you're social and you meet people through school, through like school clubs or something, that's not what I'm talking about here. That's a bit different. You can meet good quality girls. But even if you're in like the party life, you can still find really, really like kind girls. Probably not in a club, but let's say you have got some good mates and they invite you to a party. You're gonna go there and you're gonna suddenly start meeting like a bunch of girls, and at one point you're gonna find one that you really click with. I met this girl that I stopped talking to her now, but because she doesn't live here. But I genuinely thought like she was really, really good quality, and it's rare to find those kinds of girls, but it's definitely possible. And I want you to be aware that you actually have a higher chance of meeting a good quality girl when you're more popular, when you're really social. I guarantee that to you. And the other thing is, when you have friends, you're never gonna be dumped by your girlfriend and like lose your whole life and become suicidal. You're never gonna be in that situation because by the way, what I mean by lose your life is you're never gonna like give up and stop working on everything you care about and like fall into a depressive rut. Obviously, a lot of people won't kill themselves, but the likelihood, in my opinion, when you put everything towards a girl and you don't have any male friends and you like never hang out with them, you stab them in the back just to prioritize a girl who you just met. You should be prioritizing the people you've known the longest, who are your day ones, who are your male friends. And, obviously you can prioritize your girl as well, but you shouldn't be like burning them to the ground just because you're with a girl. Or if you may not have any male friends and you end up making a good quality like meeting like basically what you think is your future wife, but the likelihood is that most relationships are going to end, right? And so when that eventually ends, which is like pretty much very likely to happen eventually, then you're gonna be super lonely by yourself. You're not gonna have your friends who will like call you. Like literally, I got really upset about this girl that I was talking to lately, and then on the phone I was talking to them and they were like, "Yeah, bro, it's sorry to hear." Like when you can reach out to people, that makes your life so much better. And I can message like a couple of people like, "Oh, we want to hang out the next couple of days," and that will make me feel so much better. I'm telling you, eventually this will happen because every guy is eventually going to end up with a girl. They're going to leave you if you don't have your own male friends. Or they're probably like most guys will probably get left by a girl at some stage in their life. And when that happens, if you don't have male friends, your like whole life will feel like it's been ripped away. Whereas right now, I don't feel like I've lost my whole life. Even though I've been really fucking sad about this one, I haven't felt like the world's gonna end. I've more felt like the world is ending. But like I got my boys though, so I still, you know what I mean. It's very difficult to explain. Now, the next thing, the way that male friends change the trajectory of your life. Well, I realized when I was younger, every day I'd wake up and my friend would like text me on Discord, like, "Yo, you trying to get on Valorant? You trying to get on Minecraft?" Now, I would do this too, by the way. But all we did was strengthen like the habit loop of each other by always like we're such close friends and we always wanted to play games together. So when all your friends play a certain video game, you are so much more keen to hop on. And when all your friends play like rugby, then you're so keen to start playing rugby with them. Because most of the time, bro, so many of our human actions are dictated by, oh, we want to be around these people, or we want to be included. And the thing is, that is a normal thing, and we all try and like be cooler than that. We all try and say we don't give a shit about what anyone thinks about us, but we always will, and it will silently dictate your actions. It will change your behavior in small ways, and over time, you're gonna end up living a worse quality life than it like if you pretend you don't care at all what people think. Eventually it's going to impact your decisions in a bad way, worse than if you genuinely just like admitted, "Oh yeah, I do care what people think," and then it takes a little bit of your time away. Whereas if you pretend it doesn't matter, and then it will slowly impact your life, and to mark my word, that will happen. Now, I remember this one holiday where I had a fucking amazing holiday, by the way. These guys were really nice people. They were really fun. Now, I do want to give like a small exception. I probably met like this friend group that I'm thinking about. I was already leveling up as a guy. I was already quite a nice person. But I'm talking about going from like a great social life to the best social life. Like, I genuinely believe I have the best social life out of many 18-year-olds in the world. And, sometimes I might be chilling here working all the time. Like, I'm not like every other guy who's, at a party every single day, right? I do that in phases, and I have a great time doing that. But for me, I know damn fucking well that I'm trying to be successful as well. And we all know you can't fucking party every day and like grow the channel as efficiently as you want. But what you can do is establish a good friend group where you're not indulging in bad habits together. You're actually helping each other whenever you hang out. And then you can grow your goals along with that and that process. I remember the great friend group I had. Maybe let's not even like who said they were great. They were good, okay? They were good friends, but they weren't like it. I was close to them at the time. And for this month, I would go out, see this one guy in particular who was kind of like the group leader of that group, pretty much at like 4 or 5 times a week, because there would be one night out on Wednesday and one night out on Saturday, and then there would be any parties or any other times that we would meet up. And so we would definitely see each other like those 2 days a week. and we were hanging out like quite a bit more than that. And it was a great holiday, but when I was with them, it wasn't quite the same as what I'm about to describe to you. It wasn't me going out being hysterically in laughter, like meeting for prees really early and like being sober for a few hours, laughing our asses off, and then arriving at the venue. It was more of a we would all get out at like 10 or 11 together, and we would only be able to be like, we would only really be having fun around each other when we were drinking. And sometimes we would hang out like sober, we'd do other stuff, which was really good fun when it happened. But like these guys, we weren't together all the time. We didn't have that close bond that was special. Whereas these other guys, like this one friend of mine, so this is the year fast forward, he he and I, we went to the gym the whole time. He just wasn't in that big friend group. That big friend group was like, we were quite popular at that time. We were at like, we knew a shit ton of people, and it was good fun, don't get me wrong. But the next year was fucking so much better. Because all of a sudden I started going out with the people I respect, that I train with, that I can have an amazing laugh and conversation with for a few hours dead sober. Because we just get along like that. And when you finally meet those friends, and then you go out with them as well, that shit is the most peak fucking male experience of, no, just a peak human experience of all time. And I'm gonna get back to that a little bit at the end of the video, and trust me, it will come back to you in a way that you'll be like, wow, I didn't even think about it like that. But these boys, when I went out with them, it was different to the year before. The year before, when I went on a night out, the next few days, I'd feel like lower. Like, obviously, you're gonna be tired after a night out, which fucking makes sense, right? But back then, when I was going out, I felt like lower energy, not as happy the next few days, not as confident in myself, because I wasn't really sure, do these boys even fuck with me? Like, obviously they fucked with me in hindsight. They liked my company, we hung out a lot, but now that I think about it, sorry. Now that I think about it, these boys, like, we wouldn't call much. They didn't have my back like when I really really needed it, like on the phone when I went back to school after I left HK. They weren't like always picking up my calls too often, and they just, every I understand that all my boys had busy lives, but like they just didn't really have my back the same way. Whereas these other guys who we got along with better and we'd known for longer, the gym guys, the guys that I genuinely respected as people and really enjoyed their company. When we went out, the day after we'd gone on a night out, we'd be talking about all these fucking stories. That was the best night we ever had. Such a good time. These things, that was the vibe that we were getting. And that was just something that you can't get from that other type of friend who, you're just going out because they're like popular, or, I still resonate with them. I like them. I just didn't like them. Like, we didn't have that like amazing connection where we're going to hang out all the time the same way as these guys. And it made life a lot better when I did it. I mean, on top of that, this same guy who I can go out partying with is the guy that I'm in the gym with. Like, I went to go sauna, ice bath, and then eat a clean dinner, and we went to bed at like 11, which is, by the way, my bedtime. That's not even late for me. Like, my bedtime is late because I like sleeping in and I'm on a gap year. So in my time, like, I woke up the next day and I was full of energy, and I brought this new like happiness to when I was coaching this guy. I'd made this like call that I uploaded to my channel. I had a fucking blast of a night. By the way, it felt like I was literally on something, bro, because I was laughing for 5 hours, but I was dead sober, and I was just being healthy, and I had such a good time. And that brings me to like the last point. This is, every, like, most guys want to achieve something as well. Like, they want to get good grades. They don't want to just be that popular guy with loads of girls or whatever your heart desires. Most guys want to actually achieve something in their life. If you're like me, I want to blow up my YouTube channel. I want to get in the ring for boxing potentially. I want to get really big. I want to get a six pack. I mean, yeah, YouTube is like my main thing, of course. But I know that if I go and hang out with people who are going out all the time, that I'm not going to have as good of a time, because I'm always going to feel like I'm missing out, and I'm going to end up going out too much. Whereas if I have friends who are also locked in, and we like align the times, okay, these few weeks we're not going out, this or that, then that's when it's like, that's when you make the most progress, because you're just aligned to your friends, and you always want to be like the people you are surrounded by, man. friend. Like the friends that you keep close to yourself, you always want to be like them because you always want to fit in and be part of the group. I remember this one night I went out and within like 15 minutes, by the way, I'd felt awkward for the last 3 months at school at this point. Like it was tough, like socially at school. I didn't really enjoy conversations. I wasn't really speaking to any girls. It wasn't at like the peak bad like moment of the year, but it was after I'd already learned some like really, really valuable lessons about like social skills and I had gotten a lot better again. But it was at the point where I was still affected from my first like 8 months of like a bad school experience. And wait, so sorry, the first 8 months was a bad school experience. I was really antisocial, and then the last few months was like it was a little bit better, but I was still in my own circle. I didn't have any friends. And when I went back to holidays for my long summer holidays in Hong Kong, I went to this concert, and this shit was the most fun thing that I've ever done, bro. Because I got there, and there was this one area where I was 16 at this time. No, I had just turned 17 at this time, because this was the last year I went. And I was with these two boys who are like some of my closest homeboys. By the way, when I'm telling these stories, it's not always the guys in the photo, but like these two homeboys that I'm thinking of, we went and we were in this area and we were speaking to like genuinely 100 to 500 people. Like maybe 500 stretch, but at least 200 people. You know, we're standing in this circle having a chat with these group of people. Nice to meet you. And then we literally, my friend and I, we played a game where we both closed our eyes. One person would spin in a random direction, like stand up and spin around. And then the other person would say stop. We'd open our eyes and just walk towards the person next. And everyone we were going up to was like maybe 16 to 18, about our age. And we were just having like the most fun time. Half these people, I already knew quite a lot of people from like my past experiences going out, being social, going to this concert the year before, etc. Like that's just like, I'm already kind of in the group, but we were meeting so many people. And genuinely, and when this night finished, I said, that was the best night of my life. I was fully sober. But what happened is I got into something I call social flow state, where you're talking to so many people and you're having such a good time that you feel this kind of like warmth energy flowing through you. You feel great. And I remember that and I clearly said that was the best night of my life. And then the next day I started to get sick, and then the day after that I got more sick because it's a 3 day concert. So I didn't enjoy the next 2 days as much. I still had a great time, but I didn't quite get in the same flow state as I did on the first night. But the only other time I've ever gone into such a nice feeling was this one time where I typed out like this 4 hour written social guide. And, I have that in my course, except I added like a bunch more. It took me way more than 4 hours because I edited a shit ton. I changed stuff. But the original 4 hours I did, I was there completely present and I felt like amazing doing it because the most enjoyable human experiences are the ones you're fully in the moment. You don't have outside thoughts while you're doing it. And the work flow state and the social flow state are reported as the two most enjoyable human experiences. This is like genuinely science. And I can completely resonate with that and give you my word that that is how it feels. Honestly, bro, I've been feeling fucking depressed the last few days because I really like this girl and, distance made it so that we couldn't make it work. And obviously I'm moving on and I'm trying to not like fall off my like happy energy and all that. But when you're going out just gassing up with the boys, honestly, it takes like one time of doing that before you start feeling like a lot better. I remember my ex-girlfriend, when I broke up with her, I just hung out with this one friend and we were chatting shit for like 2, 3 hours right after the breakup. We were in a hot tub and that made me feel like infinitely better. And, obviously breakups and all that shit is hard as fuck. But I'm telling you, bro, I was thinking about this. I'm so happy I could have this experience. A year ago, I would have said, okay, I'd rather some shit ended, but I had the experience, and it hurt like shit when the experience ended, rather than not have the experience at all. When I was at school, I just wished I could be part of like that teenage life where it seemed like everyone was having fun, where people respected him. Even this girl who like, we're not talking anymore. She respects me more than the girls at my school respected me because I was just so like antisocial. I didn't ever have any of those like good connections with people, like specifically at school. I wouldn't like I there was a few girls that I would speak to, but it wasn't quite the same as me like going out and meeting so many people here in Hong Kong and being part of like the school social groups. And yeah, yeah, that's a tough one for me to speak about. I think it's important, bro, because when you have good friends, all it takes, you just need to go hang out with them. And when sad shit, fuck shit happens, you got your boys to back you up. If you got loyal boys, you're gonna get through anything. And the last thing is, when you hang out with somebody who has got like human medicine, I remember I was with these boys, and one of them was like sad about shit. He was just in this sad energy. But I was just refusing to go to that sad energy. I was happy as shit. So I was talking about some fucking like every time he would say something negative, I'm like, nah, but I believe in you, Brian. I'm making these jokes and I'm bringing this fucking awesome energy. And these guys are like kind of trying to get depressed and sentimental and while they're drinking. But brother, I ain't trying to get in that mood. Normally, like a lot of the time I am, but I realize that it's better to not be in that mood too much. It's something that you should. The sad, angry energy isn't as good as we think. You know, when like this kind of relates to me ending it with a girl. I don't really I don't really think that the most beneficial way of when you get like when you're finished with a girl is to just start being angry at and like going through your whole day angry. You wake up, you're pissed off about your ex, so you go to class and you study angry and you speak to people angry. I don't think that that's actually a good strat. I think that anger is fine and like you're gonna have like a bit of like anger and sadness, but I think you should pour that into your like physical craft. And once you've like gotten that anger out, you've used that like physical energy. Maybe you're thinking about like, oh fuck, she did me dirty, or you're thinking about something while you're doing your set and pushing really hard. And that helps me get like some stored up emotions out of myself really well when it happens. But I'm telling you, bro, the best approach is to life is to just be around people who are genuinely happy and you just pick your shit up again and start enjoying it. Because these Insta reels make us think. It genuinely changes my brain psychology. I stopped thinking like, oh, how can I improve my life as much and like achieve these goals? And I start thinking more about how sick like the certain specific moments will be when maybe I hit 100K Insta followers. And it's more like ego, it's more like a dopamine increase of me like showing off, okay, I have 100K subs or some shit, and I'm showing it off and people are validating me. Whereas when I'm off social media, it's more like, oh, every day I'm genuinely waking up, enjoying my time, and I'm making obviously I'm still fucking making progress, and I'm always gonna like have these sick moments in my mind, but I'm a lot more focused on like enjoying the day. Like, oh shit, today was so good. I did all the hard work, and you just feel fucking amazing throughout every day, and you don't need to feel like you don't need to be a druggie to feel amazing every day. Like the feeling amazing every day thing may not happen immediately, but you're more like focused on it and you're more focused on like improving your mental health and genuinely improving your life quality rather than just getting validated for doing some big grandiose like achievement that people respect externally. You focus more on your internal validation and that is what actually improves your life. I'm sure that there's a bunch of people who follow my Insta who I'm not gonna lie, I low key like still want a shit ton of external validation and I push for it a lot. But there are some photos on my Insta who I know like would piss some people off, who would make them jealous and shit. And I just don't put them up anymore because I'm not like really chasing the validation of people. The same way when I was at school, I would try and put all these photos up with me and girls just to like look as cool as possible to seem like, I could get that validation from guys to make some guys jealous. But nowadays, bro, I genuinely just want to find a good quality girl. And so I'm not really trying to like put these photos with me and like a group of girls or like I may put it like platonically, but I don't really put like a photo up. Like I remember this one photo of me in like a taxi with two girls like leaning into me like with my arms over them. And I remember I put that up and I wanted like the social validation. I wanted to be treated differently at school. Whereas now I wouldn't like try and do something like that. I don't really like I would just genuinely have the experience if it was fun to me compared to like trying to have experiences because I'm trying to like be cool, look cool on my Instagram. And that genuinely only happens when you start enjoying your life better. You're getting off Insta a bit, but more specifically, you're with good, fun, human medicine type energy friends. I'm telling you, this will completely change the trajectory of your entire life. Okay, this is a long recording session, bro. Alright, the last thing that I want to tell you, bro, is how I did it. I remember when I was 14 or 13, I left my friend group. So I've told you about this already. And I left my friend group because they were voting on me. They wanted to fucking pick or choose if I was in their friend group. Like I'm one of the boys. They did me dirty. But after that, it was kind of good because I started to try and meet new people like really quickly from that moment. For example, after I did that, I hit up my childhood friend who I used to hang out with a bit, and me and this two guys would hang out a lot. We would go to the pool. We would hang out like maybe every weekend or every few weekends, compared to like before, not at all. And every like few months when our parents had us over or some shit, and we would hang out a lot. And this one guy, he started like introducing me to his friends, introducing me to like a few girls, like going on like a big group of like go to movies, and then I would meet people through him who would like introduce me to somebody. Eventually, I had a few friends. It didn't go like at that fast. It took over like 8 months, and I wasn't meeting people very quickly. But eventually, I got like really really social. And this one guy I like my social skills, my baseline had improved a lot. And then there was this one party where I wanted to go, bro. I was fucking keen to pull up to this party, right? But I was gonna go with a friend because I was scared to go by myself. And basically, it was like a open invite kind of party where when like a girl puts on their story like, "Yo, pull up to this party." It may be a very niche thing that happens. I know it happens here and there, but it's like it's pretty niche sometimes. It's more like yeah, that might not happen at like private school or something now that I think about it. But in public schools, maybe that happens. I think it does. I've seen it happen in Australia. I've seen it happen in Hong Kong. Um, Anyways, the point that I'm making here is I just went and I was quite lucky because this girl was friendly with me. But there was this fucking sick opportunity of about like 100 teenagers who a lot of them were like actually pretty like chill people, like decent for guys who were going out at like 14, guys and girls who were going out at 14, they were good quality for like, the normal like stereotype of, oh, they're druggies and all that shit. They were genuinely like quite a few really nice people. And now that I think about it, I'm not really in close touch with any of them because obviously they're not going to be as like high quality as like the boys that I have. But that doesn't mean that they were low quality. I just prefer like my friends and I click with them better. And then after all this time getting super social, the thing is, I was still kind of like in bad shape and a bit of an idiot, like mentally in class. And I was just not happy with the progress I was making. And I fell down the wrong teenage route, even though I'd got my social skills up and I'd met a lot of people. And so my parents sent me to boarding school. And that's where the first year was fucking awful, where I didn't really have any friends. I went back to Hong Kong like once in Easter, and that was great. And then after that, it was like pretty much dead for the next like eight eight months or something, or 7 months, where I didn't see my friends at all. And I had a few friends, but I was just copying it at school. No one was really nice to me, and because I didn't have these good friends, even though I was working really hard, life seemed like completely useless. And you're still wondering like how did I go from this point to making good friends? Well, when that like the thing is I made most of the progress when I was in Hong Kong because I did it a little bit smart. It meant some people might call it smart. Basically, once I realized the point where I had had such a shitty first impression set at school, I started to prioritize the like making being as social as possible in holidays where in Hong Kong like I don't have that negative like first impression compared to like at school, no matter what I did though I was never going to make like a bunch of mates or get to the same point just because of like bad social rep or whatever. And so a little bit of time passed, and when that year finished, I was back in Hong Kong for this December summer holiday. And that's when all these people that I'd slowly met over like the last holiday, and then I went back to Hong Kong for 1 week at a different point. These people and all my old friends, I kind of reached out to all of them. I tried to get out of the house as much as possible. There was this one guy who was bringing me out because like now he knew all the teenage like venues to go to where like every Saturday these group of people would go. And we did that and it was fucking elite, bro. It was great fun. I was having a great time. And over that next month, there was this girl who really got like really obsessed with me. I was finding it easy to talk to a bunch of girls. And then I had a big, like a massive group of male friends at that time before I got any like dating life or any like, like success with girls. Because I'm telling you, it always comes first. And then after that, the next year I decided to close my circle a bit and make like better quality friends who like had my back more. And I'm very happy I made that decision because having a lot of friends who are just like going to the party or whatever, who are just like, they might be nice people, but they don't really like, they're not really always there for you. That's nowhere near as good as having your like really, really close boys who you really resonate with. And that got me to the point where I'm at now, where I finished school and these guys that I spent time investing over, like when I would come to Hong Kong, be really friendly and really social. Now, every day that I'm here, if I'm having a shit day, I can call somebody. I'm hanging out. So easy to meet like good quality people, people who I respect. I respect people who are trying to do something like unique. That's just my kind of friends, like entrepreneurs. Not all of my friends are entrepreneurs. A lot of my friends are at uni, but like I respect guys who have like a unique hustle, who are like hardworking on what they care about, and they're not like completely blind to like things that are worthwhile their time and things that aren't. And so I've got a great, amazing fucking bunch of friends now. I would do anything for that again. That's exactly why I started this channel. And I have so many videos on specific like social skills advice and how I did it. But I just wanted this video to like provide like, yeah, your life genuinely changes so much when you have good friends. And if you want my in-depth help with this, my link in the description, you can work with me one-on-one. I'll be having like group calls. Honestly, I don't even mind doing a group call every day. Um, yeah, when if there's enough people who join my course who are interested in that like increasing the frequency of group calls, I'd be more than happy to do that. But for now, it's at least once a week. That can still be absolutely life changing, and I'm gonna write you a full game plan if you join my community. I promise you, I can fucking change your life. Even people who hang around me in my real life, their life changes just like just like by being around me. And remember, this is what I said, when you're around good friends, your life changes. And you could, like, bro, I would be more than happy. Like, I get it, it's like a bit strange, like, oh, I want to be friends with you because we haven't met each other in real life. But I'd be more than happy to help somebody who's like a committed guy. They've watched through 30 minutes of this video and they're struggling because I understand exactly what it's like to fucking go through that. It's a shitty ass feeling where no one likes you, and I'll do anything to help as many people as possible, whether or not that means that I need to sell a product that you need to pay for so that you can commit properly. That, like, obviously, I'm obviously trying to make some money off like selling something, but I'm giving way more value than I'm receiving money for. And I know that I'm happy to do that because I really am passionate about this and I really want to help people. But sometimes people don't commit until they genuinely put some money down. And obviously, I don't have all the fucking time in the world and I have to get my own job and all that. I'm not going to live for free. So thank you for watching this video, bro. Lots of love. I believe in you. Take care. Check out the other videos if you need them.